Inner light, esoteric wisdom for the soul's ascent, delves into the chilling chronicles of those who gambled everything for a taste of the forbidden, and the terrifying cost exacted for their ambition. From the scholar who bartered his soul for wisdom, to the bluesman hunted by hellhounds, the priest who faced accusations of demonic collusion, and the count rumored never to die. These are stories where every wish granted demands a price, and every pact with darkness leaves an indelible scar upon the soul. Throughout the centuries, humanity has been drawn to tales of those who risked everything for the forbidden, those whose ambition urged them to the very brink of the abyss. Such chronicles are not merely cautionary tales for the naive. They are profound essays on longing, hubris, and the inescapable cost of every desire. In the pages that follow, we invite you to journey with us into the uncanny, the mysterious, and the chilling. Here we illuminate the haunted path trodden by those who dared to bargain with the devil himself. Each account is a flickering candle held against the abyss, a warning, perhaps, but also an invitation to contemplate the shadowed recesses of the human spirit, the roots of the Faustian bargain. Before we embark upon the haunted lives of our protagonists, let us first contemplate the origins of the so-called deal with the devil. The notion that one might exchange their immortal soul for earthly rewards is ancient, echoing through folklore, myth, and legend across the globe. In Western Christian tradition, the devil is the supreme tempter, forever lurking at the threshold of righteousness, offering mortals the world in exchange for damnation. Yet this motif is by no means restricted to Christianity. In ancient Greek myth, we encounter the tale of Orpheus, who risks descent into the underworld for the love of Eurydice, his hubris and yearning leading inevitably to tragedy. In medieval Europe, stories of witches and sorcerers abound, many of whom are said to have signed away their souls for arcane powers. The Victorian age, too, produced tales such as The Monkey's Paw, where every wish granted comes with a dreadful cost. The Faustian bargain stands as perhaps the most enduring archetype of this motif. Here is the scholar, Dr. Faust, who, consumed by the desire for knowledge, summons Mephistopheles and pledges his soul for 24 years of wisdom and pleasure. Yet Faust is far from alone in his ambition. History and culture are replete with men and women who have risked all for forbidden knowledge, sometimes attaining greatness, but always paying a terrible price. In every culture, the devil, be he Satan, Loki, or some other trickster, represents the shadow self, that part of us which yearns for more than is allotted. The Faustian bargain is thus not simply a supernatural tale, but a profound allegory for the human condition, our longing to transcend limits and our fear of the consequences. The idea of bargaining with darkness, of seeking out forbidden knowledge or power, is as old as humanity itself. In ancient Mesopotamia, legends tell of the hero Gilgamesh seeking immortality, only to learn the futility of challenging the cosmic order. In Asia, stories of spirits and trickster demons promising riches or wisdom in exchange for life or soul are common in both folklore and classical literature. The universality of these tales suggests an underlying truth, that ambition, unchecked by humility, can lead one to ruin. If you stood at the crossroads of possibility, Would you barter your soul for fleeting power and glory? Or do you dismiss these tales as mere superstition, a relic of an age less enlightened than our own? Are these stories simply warnings to keep us humble, or do they reveal something essential about the human spirit's eternal struggle with temptation and desire? Johann Georg Faust, the scholar who gambled his soul. Let us journey to Renaissance Germany, a land in the throes of transformation. The world is changing. Old certainties, feudal order, religious dogma are crumbling. Science and magic intermingle, each promising secrets beyond mortal grasp. Alchemists seek the philosopher's stone, astrologers cast their charts, and scholars pore over forbidden texts in search of ultimate truth. It is in this era that Johann Georg Faust is born, sometime in the late 15th century. Faust is a man of learning, a physician, alchemist, and according to rumor, a sorcerer. His appetite for knowledge is insatiable, his reputation shadowed by whispers of dark dealings. He travels from city to city, dispensing miraculous cures, stirring scandalous gossip, leaving behind a trail of awe and suspicion. Some call him a charlatan, others a genius. All agree he is not like other men. In the flickering candlelight of his study, Faust drafts a contract. 24 years of limitless wisdom, pleasure, and worldly success in exchange for his immortal soul. With trembling hand, he invokes Mephistopheles, the devil's cunning emissary, and the pact is sealed. At first, Faust's life is a cavalcade of marvels. He conjures spirits, predicts the future, amasses wealth, and is sought by kings and princes for his counsel. Yet, as the years slip by, the shadow of dread grows ever longer. The knowledge he has won becomes a prison. His mind is tormented by visions of what awaits him. The joys of his power fade, replaced by anxiety and regret. A classic tale of hubris and downfall. On the night his time expires, neighbors hear unearthly screams from his study. The walls of his house shake. When the door is finally forced open, Faust's body is found hideously mutilated, his face frozen in terror, his limbs twisted as if by invisible hands. The devil, it is said, has come to collect his due. Faust's story has inspired countless retellings, Goethe's tragic masterpiece, Marlowe's haunting play, operas, ballets, and films. Yet, at its heart, the story remains a warning. The price of unchecked ambition is always higher than one imagines. Faust's legacy endures as a symbol of the dangers inherent in the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. His story resonates in every age. The scientist who pushes ethical boundaries, the politician who sacrifices principle for power, the artist who forsakes love for fame. Faust stands as a mirror to our own aspirations and anxieties. Would you, in Faust's place, sign away your soul for knowledge and power? Or is this story but a fable, a shadow cast by human fear and longing? In an age where information and innovation are prized above all, is the Faustian bargain more relevant than ever? Robert Johnson, the bluesman at the Crossroads. Let us fast forward to the early 20th century, to the sultry, haunted landscape of the Mississippi Delta. Here, beneath the watchful gaze of the moon, the blues is born, a music of sorrow, longing and defiance, shaped by lives lived in hardship. Robert Johnson, born in 1911, is a restless spirit, the son of sharecroppers. His life is marked by loss and wandering. He drifts from town to town, guitar in hand, his early attempts at playing met with derision. It is said Johnson was so desperate to master the guitar that he would play in graveyards at midnight, seeking inspiration from the spirits. Legends tell that, yearning for greatness, Johnson found himself at a lonely crossroads one midnight. A tall, shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. Some say it was the devil himself, others a spirit of the land. Without a word, the stranger took Johnson's guitar, tuned it, and played a song so hauntingly beautiful the very trees seemed to tremble. When the instrument was returned, Johnson's playing was transformed. His fingers moved with supernatural speed, his voice echoed with an ancient sorrow. He returned to the juke joints and left all who heard him astounded. Some claimed to see shadowy figures lingering near him as he played, watching in silence. Others whispered that late at night, Johnson played alone, murmuring to invisible presences. But as quickly as his star rose, it fell. Johnson died at just 27, writhing in agony after drinking poisoned whiskey. Some say a jealous husband was to blame, but those present swore Johnson's last words were of hellhounds on his trail, come to claim his soul. His recordings remain amongst the most haunting in the American canon. The legend of the Crossroads persists, a place where desire and darkness meet, and where the cost of genius may be one's very soul. Johnson's story is more than a ghost tale. It reflects the struggles faced by African American artists in a world rife with prejudice, poverty, and violence. The Crossroads is both a literal and symbolic space, a place where choices must be made and the price of greatness weighed against the cost of survival. Was Robert Johnson's fate merely that of a gifted musician, or did the devil come to collect his due? If you stood at the crossroads, would you accept the bargain? Is genius always accompanied by suffering? Or are stories of infernal pacts simply ways to explain the inexplicable brilliance of certain artists? Urbain Grandier, the priest, and the possessed. Let us travel to 17th century France, to the town of Moulton, a place thick with incense and shadowed by suspicion. Urbain Grandier is a priest of formidable intellect and even greater charm. His confidence bordering on arrogance. Grandier is a controversial figure who defies corrupt church authorities, mocks the vow of celibacy, and is rumored to have seduced several women of the town. His enemies are many, and they wait for an opportunity to bring him down. Their chance comes when, in 1632, the nuns of the Ursuline convent begin to convulse and shriek, claiming possession by demons. They accuse Grandier of sorcery, of having signed a pact with the devil and sent evil spirits to torment them. A document is produced, supposedly written in blood, filled with infernal symbols and bearing the names of demons, with Lucifer himself as a witness. Grandier is arrested and subjected to a show trial. The nuns perform their possessions before a horrified audience. Accusations are made, evidence is fabricated, and public hysteria grows. Despite torture that shatters his body and sears his flesh, Grandier steadfastly denies any wrongdoing. On the day of his execution, as he is tied to the stake, some swear they hear a voice on the wind, a curse, a whisper, or perhaps the devil's own laughter. After his death, the nuns' torments cease, but many are left broken, their minds scarred by the ordeal. Was Grandier truly a practitioner of dark arts, or the victim of religious hysteria and political intrigue? Grandier's story is emblematic of the dangers of fanaticism and the ease with which communities can be swept up in collective madness. The devil in this tale is as much a projection of human fear and desire as a supernatural being. The accusations against Grandier were rooted in envy, resentment, and a desire for power, universal themes that resonate in every age. Would you have believed in Grandier's innocence or joined the crowd baying for his destruction? Is the devil in this tale a real force, or merely the shadow cast by human prejudice and suspicion? How do we guard against the temptation to demonize those who challenge the status quo? Count Saint-Germain, the immortal enigma amidst the glittering salons of 18th century Europe, a figure appears who seems to belong to no era. The Count of Saint-Germain is a master of languages, music, and art, a guest at the courts of kings, and confidant to the powerful. Yet there is something uncanny about him. He never appears to age. Decades pass, and those who met him as young men encounter him in their old age, unchanged. Saint-Germain's origins are shrouded in mystery. Some say he was the illegitimate son of a Transylvanian prince. Others claim he was born centuries earlier. He dazzles the aristocracy with tales of ancient history, displays knowledge of events long past, and produces jewels and elixirs with apparent ease. Rumors swirl. He is an alchemist who has discovered the philosopher's stone, the secret of immortality. Others whisper he has made a pact with the devil, trading his soul for endless time. His legend grows with each retelling. He is said to have warned Marie Antoinette of the coming revolution, years after his supposed death. In the 19th and 20th centuries, mystics and theosophists claim to have met him, his appearance untouched by time. Saint-Germain's story endures as a symbol of humanity's deepest longing and greatest fear. He is the eternal outsider, forever seeking a place in a world that changes around him. His immortality is both a blessing and a curse, a source of awe and suspicion. The mystery of Saint-Germain speaks to our fascination with the possibility of life beyond death, of wisdom accumulated across centuries. Yet it also warns of the loneliness and alienation that can accompany such gifts. To outlive one's friends, to watch the world change while remaining unchanged oneself, is a fate with its own terrors. If you were offered eternal life, regardless of the price, would you accept? Is immortality a gift or a curse? What do we lose when we seek to escape the natural cycle of life and death? Giuseppe Tartini, The Devil's Sonata. In 1713, Italian violinist and composer Giuseppe Tartini experiences a dream that will haunt him for the rest of his life. In the dream, the devil appears, suave, elegant, with an air of impossible authority. Tartini, unable to resist, hands over his violin. The devil plays a melody so exquisite and fiendishly complex that Tartini awakes in a fever, desperate to capture it. He composes the Devil's Trill Sonata in a frenzy, but always admits it is only a ghost of what he heard in his dream. Musicians who attempt the piece speak of unease, shadows flickering at the edge of vision, a cold breath on the nape of the neck. Some say Tartini's soul was marked forever by that encounter, and that at his death, the devil reclaimed his due. Tartini's story is a classic example of the artist's struggle with inspiration and doubt. The devil in this tale is both a source of genius and a symbol of the anxiety that accompanies creative endeavor. The idea that artistic brilliance comes at a price is as old as art itself. The legend of the Devil's Trill Sonata endures as a metaphor for the elusive nature of genius. Tartini's confession that the piece he composed was only a shadow of the melody he heard in his dream speaks to the limitations of human achievement. The most beautiful creations are always haunted by the possibility of something greater, just out of reach. Was Tartini's vision a trick of the mind or a genuine infernal visitation? If the devil offered you a talent beyond human reach, would you dare accept? Is the pursuit of perfection always accompanied by a sense of loss and longing? Dr. John Fian, Sorcerer of the North Berwick Witches, Scotland, 1590. The land is gripped by a frenzy of witch trials. Amongst the accused is Dr. John Fian, a schoolmaster by day and, it is whispered, a sorcerer by night. Fian is accused of leading a coven that summoned storms to destroy King James VI's ship. His reputation for dark arts is fueled by tales of strange fires and unexplained misfortunes befalling his enemies. Captured, Fian is tortured unspeakably, his nails torn out, his limbs shattered in iron boots. Yet, he refuses to confess. One night, guards find his cell inexplicably open, chains undone. Fian claims the devil has freed him. Eventually, he is burnt at the stake, facing the flames with stoic defiance. Some say witch hysteria claimed an innocent. Others believe he truly consorted with darkness. The story of Dr. John Fian is a reminder of the dangers of superstition and the ease with which communities can be swept up in collective paranoia. The devil in this tale is as much a product of human fear as a real entity. The torture and execution of Fian, like so many victims of the witch hunts, speaks to the destructive power of belief untempered by reason. Fian's legend persists in Scottish folklore, a cautionary tale about the thin line between genius and madness, between wisdom and heresy. His story is echoed in the lives of countless others, persecuted for their ideas, their eccentricities, or their refusal to conform. Would you dare meddle in forbidden arts, knowing the risk? Is the pursuit of knowledge worth the danger of misunderstanding and persecution? How do we balance curiosity with caution? Jonathan Moulton, The Boot of Endless Gold. In colonial New Hampshire, Jonathan Moulton's sudden rise to wealth arouses suspicion. Legend has it that Moulton, driven by greed, summoned the devil and struck a bargain: infinite gold in exchange for his soul. Each month, the devil would fill Moulton's boot with coins, but Moulton, ever cunning, cut a hole in the boot so the gold would never stop flowing. For a time, his trick works. Moulton's fortunes grow, his influence expands, and he becomes one of the wealthiest men in the colony. Yet the devil is never outwitted for long. One night, Moulton's mansion is consumed by a fire that appears from nowhere. Not a trace of him is found, save for a single charred boot in the ashes. Some say the devil claimed his soul. Others whisper Moulton still wanders, a spirit doomed by his own greed. The tale of Jonathan Moulton is a parable about the dangers of avarice and the folly of trying to outsmart fate. The boot with a hole is a symbol of endless desire. No matter how much one acquires, it is never enough. The fire that consumes Moulton's mansion is both literal and metaphorical, a reminder that unchecked ambition inevitably leads to destruction. Moulton's story resonates in every society where wealth is prized above all else. The temptation to cheat, to scheme, to gain more than one's fair share is universal. Yet the legend warns that the price of such cunning is always too high. Would you risk everything for unlimited wealth, believing you could cheat the devil? Is it possible to outwit fate, or are we all ultimately accountable for our choices? Elizabeth Báthory, the Blood Countess. Elizabeth Báthory's name is synonymous with horror. Born into Hungarian nobility in 1560, Báthory is celebrated for her beauty, intelligence, and wealth. Beneath the surface, however, festers a monstrous obsession. Legend claims Báthory believed that bathing in the blood of young girls could preserve her youth. Servant after servant vanishes, lured to Countess castle with promises of work. Survivors speak of torture chambers, blood-filled baths, and a noblewoman serene amid the carnage. Some believe Báthory was guided by witches, or even a demonic lover. Others insist she struck a pact with the devil, offering countless lives for her own beauty. When her crimes can no longer be ignored, Báthory is walled alive into her castle, left to rot in darkness. Her last words are said to be a promise to return. Her ruined castle is haunted by screams and shadows. Was she simply a mad woman, or truly in league with darkness? Báthory's story is of the dangers of obsession and the corrupting power of privilege. The quest for eternal youth, for beauty beyond nature, is a theme that recurs throughout history. The legend of the Blood Countess warns of the price of vanity and the evil that can flourish in unchecked power. The horror of Báthory's tale is as much psychological as physical. The idea that one might trade the lives of others for personal gain is abhorrent, yet it is a theme that recurs in the darkest chapters of human history. If Báthory unlocked the secret of youth, might she still prowl the night? Is the desire for immortality always accompanied by cruelty, or is there a way to seek transcendence without sacrifice? Niccolò Paganini, the Devil's Virtuoso. In the candlelit concert halls of 19th century Europe, Niccolò Paganini bewilders audiences with his virtuosity. He is tall, gaunt, almost spectral, his fingers stretching across the violin with inhuman agility. His playing is impossibly fast, passionate, and intense, so much so that rumors abound. He has made a pact with the devil, or his violin is fashioned from the bones of a murdered lover. Some claim to see shadowy figures at his performances. As Paganini ages, his health withers, as though something is draining his very life. Denied burial in consecrated ground, his legend only grows. The story of Paganini is a meditation on the nature of genius and the price of greatness. The idea that extraordinary talent must be paid for with suffering or sacrifice is a recurring theme in art and literature. Paganini's uncanny abilities are both a source of wonder and terror, a reminder that the pursuit of perfection can lead one into darkness. Some say Paganini's violin remains cursed, its music haunted by the soul of its maker. The legend persists, inspiring musicians and writers to contemplate the mysteries of creativity and the dangers of ambition. If you could master any skill beyond mortal limits, but at a dreadful price. Would you accept the bargain? Is the pursuit of greatness always accompanied by risk? Or is it possible to achieve brilliance without compromise? Jack Parsons, the rocket scientist and the occult. Not all pacts belong to ancient history. In mid-20th century California, Jack Parsons helped launch the space age as co-founder of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Yet Parsons was also a fervent occultist, drawing inspiration from Aleister Crowley and the Ordo Templi Orientis. Parsons believed science and magic were entwined. He performed rituals to summon otherworld. Infamous ritual conducted with L. Ron Hubbard sought to invoke the goddess Babylon. As Parsons' life spiraled into chaos, career lost, reputation ruined, he persisted, claiming to be on the verge of opening a portal to another dimension. On the 17th of June 1952, Parsons' laboratory was destroyed in a violent explosion. Some say it was an accident. Others whisper that Parsons had finally summoned something he could not control and paid the ultimate price. Parsons' story is a parable for the age of technology, a warning that the pursuit of knowledge, whether scientific or esoteric, can lead to unforeseen consequences. The boundary between genius and madness is narrow, the line between progress and peril razor thin. Parsons' legacy endures in the world of rocketry and occultism alike. His life is a testament to the dangers of obsession, the risks inherent in seeking to transcend the limitations of the human mind. Would you risk your soul for forbidden knowledge, for a glimpse beyond the veil? Or was Parsons merely a genius consumed by his own obsessions? Is the search for transcendence always accompanied by danger, or is there a path to wisdom that does not lead through darkness? The legacy of infernal pacts. Why do these stories endure? Perhaps because they speak to something deep within us. The longing to transcend our limitations, the fear of what we might become if we overreach, and the inescapable truth that every wish granted comes with a cost. The devil in these tales is not merely a tempter, but a mirror, reflecting our deepest desires and the darkness that lies within. Whether these pacts are real or allegorical, they warn us. The path to greatness is fraught with peril, and the price of ambition may be more than we can bear. These stories serve as reminders that every choice has consequences, that the pursuit of power, wealth, or beauty may come at the expense of one's soul. They invite us to reflect on our own desires, to question the limits of ambition, and to seek wisdom rather than mere dominance. Conclusion. The eternal bargain. Those who make deals with the devil often believe themselves the victors, but in the end, the house never loses. Perhaps it is all superstition, or perhaps the devil is always waiting, pen in hand, for the next signature in blood. Would you ever risk such a pact? If you have found this journey into the arcane and uncanny illuminating, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to cast light upon the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil. Until next time, keep seeking the inner light and beware the shadows that follow.